Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. We're looking at this 2017 Troy-Bilt TB200 again. I just got this thing after we had picked up the 4 for $55. So I went through this thing already, cleaned the carb. I had shown you a video of this thing before. The muffler was off on this thing. I stole a couple of screws from a dead machine. This thing has deck rust through. Here's the 4 for $55. I've been messing with these a little bit as well. So, carb clean the tank, gas tank, sharpen the blade. What I'm going to do is turn this thing on its side. Last night I went ahead and washed the underside. I'll show you what came out of the bottom of this thing. I had scraped all this grass, and you see some red paint flakes. I hosed all this off and wire brushed it to get it off of the deck. The reason why we have rust through is all this was holding moisture. It's imperative you clean off the grass so it doesn't hold moisture. It's just going to eat through the paint. So I'm going to take the suggestion of a few of you cadets who've said on previous videos with rusty decks I should take used engine oil and do a cheap undercoating with the used oil. So I figured I'd give that a try. I've just poured some used oil into a container. I have an old crappy paintbrush. I store it in these containers before I bring them to the recycling facility. So let's paint this thing up, put the blade on, put gas in the tank, and see if this thing runs. It should. The carb was dirty, so I believe that's the issue with this thing. I don't know why Harvey took the muffler off and lost the screws. That's a mystery. So I'm just going to dip and go here. This will spread very easily on the rusty deck. So it spreads very easily. Just goop it on, spread it around. It didn't take much, so this will go in the trash. Kind of shredded it, but it was on the way out anyway, the paintbrush. So we'll gas it and start it here in the sand. The sand will kick it up and act as a bond for this old motor oil. It'll help it stick to the deck. So let me get the blade of 5/8 open and wrench, and we'll put the blade on and then gas it. I sharpened the blade, it took a nice edge. I'm going to goop some oil on the adapter here. It's a little bit rusty. It'll make it easier for Harvey to remove the blade for future sharpening as Helen cheers him on. That should do the trick. Let's turn it over, gas it, and pull and go. How you kids and cadets doing today? Nice day in Southwest Florida. It's overcast, but it's about 75. Very comfortable out. Not sure how I want to proceed with these rust holes. I've got some of that HVAC tape, the silver tape, which seems to be working good on another Toro recycler that I put it on recently. If this thing does start, I will change the oil. That's the last thing on my list for the TB200. I didn't mean to gas Mr. Snake. All those vapors made him a little loopy. Don't know why there's an extra zippy tie here. I'll have to put that back to normal. That's sort of discouraging. Let me juice this. Maybe I didn't do a good carb clean yesterday. No visual leaking from the bowl. This thing should have fired off. It kicked off yesterday with happy juice. You saw that it started without the muffler. It was very loud and it had stalled out. Now we don't have anything. Big fat zero. Let me pull the plug. That's odd. The gap is closed up. I think this is the right plug for this thing. But look at that. The plug doesn't have but a 0.5 millimeter gap there. So I'm wondering if I could just take a screwdriver, pop this thing out visually and try it again. Or grab a real plug out of a new packaging and throw it in. Hold on, I got to make executive decisions. Life can be difficult sometimes. Just kicked you in the head. I gave it an air gap. I'm going to ground it out against the muffler here as I pull it over, see if we got spark. I'm wondering if the piston was banging this and compressed it. We got spark now. I see no reason why this thing should fail. Let me put it all back together. I just stole one off of the Husky next door. Similar style engine. The Husky's a little larger horsepower. But we got the RC12YC. I kind of eyeballed the other gap. It's about the same as this. It should work. If not, we're going to throw this gold top rusty piece of crud in the Troy-Bilt. Okay, let's get serious. Since it's going to be a dust storm here, let me put the filter back on so I don't go back to ground zero with removing the carb. Thanks for reminding me. Okay, I washed this thing off like I told you before. So we had some water pouring out of the exhaust. That was fine. When I hosed it down, probably some got in the muffler. Just engaged the front wheel drive. That's acting up. So I gotta check that out. I had removed the top cover last night to clean out all the grass under there. Everything looked normal. I don't know why it's not engaging better than it is. Maybe the belt is stretched out. I gotta remove this and further investigate. So as you saw, it started. So I don't know how that gap got closed up on the plug, but I was thankful that it started for us and I don't have to mess with the starting. Let's turn it over and just see how much dust and dirt has collected on that used oil. See if we got good coverage. We got Southwest leaving the neighborhood. It's kicked it up on the outside of the deck, but on the interior here near the plastic guard, it's still wet and oily. Maybe I'll run it through the front yard a couple of passes to really get the dust kicked up. So that looks fine. Yeah, it's not really engaging. It's sporadic. You lift the front end off the ground, it'll engage. Put weight on it,